I've been wanting to make this video for a minute, and I'm kind of holding a lot in because it's gonna make me very emotional. But I wanted to set this video out for a while now, and I had this clip from Mooji. I love Mooji. Whatever the people in the set songs that he holds. Sorry, I don't really know like the terms because I've never been or gone to a set song, but whatever they may consider him, a teacher of this or that, a liberated being, which I would say liberated being because I've used his clip where he talked about that. I had this clip on the back burner for a while, but where I'm at in my life now, I'm starting to really embody every single concept I've come across. Whether I say everything is energy in my videos, everything, I have realized the chiseling of just the chiseling of my being to return to what I truly am has truly brought these experiences in my life to which where it's life taking care of life. Now I know that may sound that whole intro may sound all over the place, but bear with me. Let me just get the intro out the way, and I'll try to bring it right back around home. So first off, I just want to say thank you for tapping into the frequency. This video right here in particular is going to be a very, very important video to me and to get it out to you guys. And although, I'm keeping the types of gems I drop from my experience to a minimum slightly on this channel, more as I go with time. The commentary videos are going to have them, but this one specifically, I would like to get out of the way because it's just in my heart right now. But remember to authentically love yourself. Remember to authentically be yourself. And yeah, man, let's just get into this video. By the way, when you're seeing this part of the video, I'm actually putting the Mooji clip in the beginning, and then the rest of my video will play.
To see against blurred is not it. You who is witnessing blurred and focus, you're it. This is the thing. And this is the twist of consciousness that each one needs to experience. We're wasting a lot of time because the classical way of knowing something is to know like one thing, knowing another thing. And I'm telling you, no, no, no. This is not two things. It's not even one thing. Are you confused by this? No. Are you?
No.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Now I can say drop everything, because it's appropriate time. Say drop all these ideas, drop. We are never going to be experientially one while you retain the idea of yourself as a person, because every person is conditioned. Every person belongs to some party, some religion, some philosophical group, some political group, some kind of social group, some identity you're wearing. And every identity fights to retain its own perspective. Okay? We are never, ever, ever going to agree while you are in the state of personhood. This is what is radical. I'm going to bring you the message of Ramana Maharshi. I'm going to bring you the message of Shankara, which is not only just a message. I am their message right now. And I'm not afraid to say that. That is not pride. I don't say it as pride. But someone has to have the courage to say. Because somebody asked me, what is your master's highest teaching? I said, I am my master's highest teaching. I have to say it. It sounds arrogant, but it's not arrogance. Because I have the courage to say what I am. Okay? So I have to say this on your behalf. Because you are afraid to say it, And it's not, okay, because you say it, you are it. It's not that. It has to be experienced. And I wait on you too long. You're too slow. You're so apologetic. And so I have to say sometimes, I am that on behalf of you, to give you courage to say that there's an appropriate time to admit, and it is not blasphemy, it is not arrogance to say. Thank you. You understand? We are not going to reach this as one human family while we keep on believing and you're loyal to your group, because it will teach you you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, you're a Hindu. We can never meet. Even those who are the most the most what you may call liberal in any group. They still cannot meet. I've met groups sometimes who are the most liberal within the group, and there's some watered down version of the group. It has to be a living truth. And the only way you are going to come to this living truth, you have to be like the cow that jumped over the moon. And this moon is your mind. You have to jump over it. And as long as you stay as this person, you're going to argue like the person. You're going to defend like the person. And I'm showing you the most beautiful way. The most beautiful way is the way of being. You have to come out of that. I show you. I show you. I don't say go. I say come. Look with me and prove with me your original self. It is not a fantasy. It is not a spiritual fantasy. It's not escapism. It is the most real. Everything else in this planet will vanish except what I'm speaking with you, the truth of it. And I'm only trying to tell you, you have to be cured of this mistake you're making in holding on to this identity that you're merely flesh and blood. You're that too, but you're not that mostly. It's time to grow up. Don't just grow old. Grow up and look with the eyes I'm looking at. When I see you, I see the self. When you speak, you're not speaking as yourself. You're speaking as something that is born of time, that in a few seasons will not be here. So take courage and listen with your heart when I tell you. Follow my pointings, because what I say now with such conviction, you yourself will be able to speak with the authority of your own experience. I'm not asking you to believe. Believe, trust, this is okay, but it must be proven. And I'm telling you, I'm here to prove it to you. And prove it as you. And you hold back stingily when you say you want to realize the most important thing in the world, but you offer so little of yourself. You must have the courage to stand up and to say, I'm here for this, Mooji, all the way.
I'm here. I'm here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, like that. You see? Because the whole world is looking at you and saying, if they can be here, listen to him face to face, and they're hanging back like frightened children or something, and I'm saying, look, follow and see. Because I'm not throwing magic powder in your face. I'm speaking with you in very simple language. And still, I don't get the response. I think, you should be so happy that in this age, you stand a chance of really being free of all this bullshit. So, okay, so we can sit down now again and we get on.
So the things that Mooji, or Babaji, as they call him, says in this video are things I've been saying since the beginning of my awakening. You will not, and this is why an awakening to me, at least now, and it really much is a solo journey. Your spiritual path, or what you come into, whatever realizations you have along your journey, are individual, because the entire world is still under so much sleep. They have identified so hard with their ego that it does not allow them to see the infinite potential within them and others. To be honest with you, that's what it is. It's depicted in movies like Divergent and all these movies where a single character wakes up and then revolts. The Matrix, all these animes. Why some people say why is there a large part of the quote unquote black community that is into anime? It's because if you watch anime, a lot of these characters that these mangaka writers, I don't even know if I'm using the right terms, display the same sort of the main character rising up, or even side characters. They all play a part of the whole, so they're all main characters in my opinion. Even the villains, they all play a role to this sort of awakening. And that's like one of the main themes of a lot of animes. This getting stronger, mastering your mind, and just truly rewriting your destiny, or truly finding the truth and peace within you. I know for a lot of people, Vinland Saga took it away. But what was funny to me is there's been animes doing this long before Vinland Saga, but Vinland Saga deserves its flowers. But I just mean, I was surprised when people took the one quote that I have no enemies, because essentially that's awakening, but nobody draws that comparison, which is insane to me. They still fall victim, and maybe some don't, still fall victim to the way it appears, or the prettiness, or the magazine cover. What is it? The look. They fall victim to the look of spirituality instead of embodying what it means to have no enemies. But then when someone comes across and shows them what that really means, it blows their mind. but it sounds like, flavor language. It sounds really good to say rather than to actually embody. But I'm telling you, from a person that has done this, I have taken pepper spray straight to the face from someone who said they dearly, deeply loved me and cared for me. I've taken that straight to the face and felt complete bliss within myself. Not desensitization, not this fear. Fear didn't even rise up. That's when I started to realize that embodiment of I have no enemies, and I can truly see that whatever that someone went through in their life form their perspective to the point where they live in so much fear that they would do that to another being. That's what it is. Most people are living in so much fear that fear causes them to go and act out like as if it's this higher, darker entity puppeteering their strings. And when you truly awaken, you cut those strings and you understand everything Aristotle, Epictetus, all of these philosophers were saying, because it's all the same thing. It's all literally the same thing. It's the liberation of your mind. And that's why I'm going to put this clip at the end. And you guys, I feel like you're going to really enjoy this clip of what he's saying. He says it in his own way, of course, in the teachers and stuff he has. But I love this Mooji clip because it encapsulates what I'm trying to say. It's not pride. It's not narcissism. It's not any of this shit. Anytime I talk to people, this is why don't like calling myself spiritual, but I use spiritual for lack of a better terms to tell people or give an understanding of what is the sort of field I talk about. But in general, I wouldn't even use the word, because at the end of the day, it's literally just freedom. Like, if I could give it something, it's love and freedom. It's truly liberating your mind. Because like I said, with the flavor language, most of these spiritual people, and I'm not trying to blanket it or have any disdain for anyone, are still in the act of acting spiritual rather than embodying it. Because if they did embody it, you would see the magic of reality open up to you and infinite possibilities. And that's kind of what I wanted to say in this video. In my last relationship, I realized I had to put so much of the love back into myself, and it almost bursted within me with literal love. I felt a way different lens when I finally realized what it was to actually love all aspects of yourself and not sacrifice yourself for others. I haven't fully embodied that. I was still not people pleasing, but I was still sacrificing parts of myself to try to lift someone else up to my level, and it just does not work. You guys have heard me, if you've seen my videos, talk about, if you've seen my videos where I would release them slowly and sometimes drop them, where like it was like, you may need to hear this, or you can lead a horse to water but you can't make it drink. Little gems like that I've dropped in videos, or even in videos where I said I need to take a break from YouTube, where literally that break was caused based on bringing too many people in my reality, which is why I say an awakening is a solo experience. It's a solo journey. It used to be a group thing when there were more spiritual systems set up. But why do you think a lot of them don't exist now and have been broken down? And why, I'm not saying anything too bad about religion, but why religion is a lot of control on people's minds. There's a much bigger game at play, and it's all to do with the liberation of your own mind. And you will see the freedom when you actually stand up and claim that you are this. And that's why I'm showing this video. I have people ask me, how do I get over certain things happen to me? How do I just not react to people doing certain things to me? Because I've realized the infinite potential within myself. And I've realized that mostly it's you versus you, man. Go and watch my Awaken series that I recently did and had my little soul sister on there, Ash. I've realized that I'm not afraid to admit to someone that, like, I'm feeling love or I'm feeling this. Cool. Call me weird, call me whatever, because the very things that a lot of people are struggling with, like this anxiety and depression and all of this, is because they have identified with an ego that is not them. But they will never awaken to that as long as they identify so hard with the mask that they put on. And mostly this mask is to show off for others. That's why I stand this hard on this. It's not beliefs. It's not even a thought. It's a thought process. It's a mindset, but they're not even beliefs. It's who you are. Someone even used to say that beliefs, have your beliefs, but don't believe in them, because beliefs almost seem like be lies, like beliefs. You can have your beliefs, but don't believe in them. When you have a knowing, I actually said this to someone recently. I think I even said this to my girlfriend recently, that, which I want to get into that in a second too, of how I literally, when you awaken to this is what I really realize now too, is there really is no technique to manifestation or anything. It is literally just who we are in essence. It's literally what you focus on in the moment. Like when I put the love back in myself to someone who ended up like really cutting contact with me and cutting me off, made me realize that I had to go within myself, and like all the other people I lost, I just started saying, you know what? I love myself. I'll take myself out to the park. And I started to visualize being at the park with a certain individual. I started to visualize someone who would like hold my arm and do the things I would do to myself. I just started doing it to like my kid self and me, and like really playing out these scenes where I was with this person who truly like protected my heart. And I kid you not, like almost like 2 months later, they popped up, literally reciprocating everything that I do. Reciprocated everything I visualized too. It was literally like magic. And before that, all like career opportunities and everything, man. Like I started like, and this isn't to flex, but it's like I could buy a ticket, like just, and I usually don't even do this, but like, you know how sometimes you'll have $1 or something and you'll buy a scratch off and you'll just scratch it off just to joke and throw it away. It's like, oh, I have a loose dollar at least on me, right? I did that, started winning. I won like $40 off a dollar. Like just these synchronicities and stuff start matching your reality when you, cause life takes care of life, you know, like it literally, but people are so dense in their thinking and everything that they don't even open the door to see this. Like they won't walk away from certain situations because they're living in survival and fear. And I'm just like, all right, like, you know, you could put this mindset on and test it for yourself. That's why it's not about whatever negative connotation that people try to put on it or comes with it or trying to force you to believe anything. No, most of these people who are out here manifesting don't give two shits less if you don't do it or do it, because at the end of the day, they know it's you dealing with your own mind. And that's how I freed myself from a lot of this stress. I just realized like, it's like, oh, I get it. Like I really it clicked with me with relationships is, bro, you put the love in yourself, and it's the love. Just because I call it the law of, like, easy for lack of a better terms, law of attraction. You put it out there. It's like, I would like a partner who I visualize how I want to be treated. This person doesn't have to be perfect. They're going to come with their own things. It's the human experience, right? But everyone has an ideal version of how they would want to be treated in their mind, right? So what do you mean? If you give that love to yourself or anything, they have an ideal version of how much money they want to make or what they want to experience or the lifestyle they want to live. So why would you accept anything less than that? That doesn't even make sense. It's because they get attached to this ego or this identity that's like a mask for others. That's why you got to drop all of this. Like, I'm serious. You got to drop so many things that you've been conditioned to believe. Like, everyone is conditioned. You have to understand that. So to get to an unconditional state, you have to take off the way you've been conditioned for yourself and the way you've conditioned yourself to the belief of others. Because truthfully, I just made this joke with my girl. Let me see. Hang on one sec. She gets a little bit anxious, right? And I told her something, just like something about me, like, hey, like I'm gonna do me regardless of what anyone thinks, as long as I'm not stepping on anyone. It's essentially that energy. And I was like, because I'm me, and really, if I'm being authentically me and being the weird and silly me, and that pushes people away, well then, hey, me being my authentic self is getting those people that aren't really supposed to be in my experience out the way. It's what it's doing. And she basically was like, oh yeah, see, I need that type of energy around me because it's how I'm going to break off of some of these anxious patterns if I can see someone truly living that. And just this willingness to change and work through the little anxious things she got. But nonetheless, with that, that's why I tell y'all, it's not about trying to shift someone's beliefs or trying to get you to believe anything. No, the whole goal is trying to get you to look within yourself. Like, a lot of people won't just look within themselves. That's where all the answers lie. It's not going to lie. And I'm not, in books and whatever do help. Going in and reading up on this knowledge and how the mind works and all these, like, I did the same thing. But I'm like trying to save y'all time by realizing that it's just you. Like, when you read these books, you end up realizing that it's your mind. Like, that's the funniest thing about books, is when you read what the author is putting, whether it be Four Agreements, the Celestine Prophecy, Dark Psychology 101, all the more scientific books are going to have like what is it? Is it the part of the glossary, the part of the book where they cite their information, where they pulled from, or sources and everything like that. But you know, the holographic universe, all this stuff, you start to realize that, wait, hang on. If we're all one, then this person writing this book is also me, and all the realizations that this person had. But how did they come into these realizations too? They were seeking something, and which led them on the path. That's why I say all of my realizations and all my experiences came because I started seeking something too. I said there must be more to life. I am not with this game. Like, I don't know what, like, I was like, it has to be more beautiful than this. There's just like, it's just everything I'm seeing. Like, there's no way. And then one day I was led upon this path, and now I've come back to tell y'all that it's literally like ego death. I've died to old versions of myself. There's certain people in my reality that wouldn't even recognize me. And they've actually stated that some people close to me wouldn't even recognize me. And that's the thing. I mean, I'm ever shifting and ever changing, but that, like I said, I don't joke when I be telling certain people, like, yo, every day you're a different person. Every moment you're a new person. And if you could actually conceptualize that and understand that, you could literally awaken overnight. No techniques needed, no nothing. You realize you can make a decision in a moment to, you know what, I'm not going to let this affect me. I'm going to feel it in my body, feel your emotions and everything. But I'm good. Like, I'm no longer going to let this thing that I went through dictate my life, or these beliefs, or how people make. I'm done. And enough pain will do that to you. An experience will do that to you. Whatever, it'll cause a trigger within you where you are. It's time to stand up and take your power back. So that's just what I speak on. Taking your power back. It's not a belief. I mean, yes, believe in yourself, but when you know who you are, you technically don't need to believe in yourself. You just know you're that good. I'm being real. It's not pride. It's not pride. You know, and I'm talking about this on the aspect of creating reality. But this Mooji clip is going to be on the aspect of taking things off to be united. And that still goes to when you know who you are, it's like your unity does awaken with others. It just, you understand it. You don't hold any. I mean, I can't even count the last time since I was probably 21 when the awakening, that's not when the awakening happened, have I intentionally looked at someone and had judgment. You know, because I used to be judgmental for when it came to, I mean, I'll talk about this in other videos, not this one, but I used to have, when I saw certain people being like ghetto and shit, I used to have a really big judgment on it, but now I understand it. But ever since 21 is probably the best thing where I could see, because I was still going through my awakening, and kind of I was at the point where why are more people don't know this or not getting this. But where I'm at now, I'm just like, I just don't have that in my heart to look at someone, whatever they're going through or whatever they do, even if other people see them as a quote unquote bad person. I don't know. I took myself out the duality. It's just like, but you know, I'm not ignorant to the fact that, you know, if a robber breaks in your house, don't protect yourself because you're so enlightened. No, do what you got to do. But I'm saying you can free your mind in ways you don't even understand. But it's up to you. You got to go and try it. Like, I'm not here to convince you. I'm just here to tell you that I'm living. If you want to know how to get rid of stress or get over, I don't know, exes or create the life, it's your mind. It starts with your mind. It starts with your mind. I was told a long time ago by a very, very known individual in the music industry, sent me a personal text that I hold so close to my heart, because I felt like that day he saw the spark in me that was like, that made him respond to our DMs. And he gave me the realest information that I've